Oh, you just caught me having 5 minutes. Okay, today what I'm going to make is a bit of an improvisation. I don't have any butter, but I really fancy a tart. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make it up as I go along. To start with the pastry, flour. Now I'm not going to measure the flour because I honestly have no idea how to make paste. Originally pastry was made with just flour and water or flour and oil, so technically it should work. Right. Water. I don't want to touch that. It was really sticky and horrible. So I've got my little tool in my hand and I'm just going to mix what flour I have with the water I have. Even though I don't want to, I'm going to have to get my hands in there and make this into a ball, aren't I? It's working so far. I'm wondering if there's enough. Is there enough to roll it at least? I'm only making 4 small tarts, I'm not making a big thing. I'm going to have a tiny bit more moisture. Only because there's bits that aren't sticking together in this bowl and it all needs to stick together in a big fat lump, doesn't it? This would be a lot better with butter, but I'm going to add a bit of sugar, you know, because it's a sweet tart. Technically the pastry should have okay, you know what? I'm going to try and roll this. Wish me luck. I need to flour my surface lest my dough stick. Nathan Head's gone all Shakespearean on you. What I'm going to do for this bit is change the camera angle, so snap of my fingers. Oh my. Right, I've got my big floury lump. This isn't going to work, is it? Ah well, at least I tried. Flour my pin. You need to rub it all the way up your flour in rolling pins, or again your rolling pin will stick, so you need to rub lots of flour all the way across it and then roll out your pastry. And it's working, oh my god. There's a crack in it. What do I do? Use water as glue. Oh, stuck to my pin. I'm not going to have enough for 4 tarts here. I think I'm going to have enough for maybe 2. I know, it depends how thin I can roll it out. That looks pretty good, it works. That's alright, now how are we going to cut them out? I will use this mug as a mould. I don't have any, I do have cookie cutters, but none this big. 1, 2. Please don't read the text on the mug. This isn't sponsored content. What is it? Clarity and success or something, I don't know. Oh no, can I get a 4th one out? I probably could if it wasn't for that bit of pastry that's all cracked. Let's try anyway. Yay! And there we have it, my 4 little tart bases. I could probably get a 5th one out of them, you know. Now, stick them all in my little pan. Put that to one side. Now this leftover pastry we're going to use to make the rim. I want like a little braided rim. Why am I not in shot? I want like a... I'm too tall for this kitchen. I'm like a little kid helping mummy now on my knees. I want like, you know what I mean. So what I'm going to do is twist this pastry. And these really long thin sausages. Don't know how else to do this. Let's try and roll it again. Does that look really weird coming for the camera? What I'm trying to do is cut them out of that. I just need to go and get one ingredient that I forgot to get ready in my prep. Oh, mama. My egg for the, I want to base the top of the pastry that's exposed so it doesn't burn. And it's also good to use as a glue for sticking your rim to your crust. Which is the opposite of sticking the crust to your rim, which I do not advise. Yeah. Need to cut out lots of little strips that are going to, well, I say lots, 4 because I have 4 tarts. And in theory, these are going to be the... I don't know how this is going to work, if it's going to look good. Let's do it here so you can see. Shift up. Just putting glue around the edge of my bases so that these rims can stick. Now if you haven't got an egg, I don't know why I say eggs that way. If you haven't got an egg, you can always use milk here, or if you're really poor, just tap water. That one's a little too short. To stop these being too short, I might just roll them out one little bit more. Just to get an extra inch out of each of them. That one's still too short. Oh well. Shift that rolling pin out of shot, it's blocking my best features. Thankfully I've got a tiny bit of pastry left over, so all of these rims, I'll show you now, hold on. See, they're a bit too short, I've got gaps. With these little bits of leftover pastry here, I can put to bridge the gaps. Quite enough for the last one. It's going to be a little knobbly. Okay. Now I do a little bit of... No, I'm going to save the egg wash for the end because camera angle change again. Okay, this is a really, really awkward angle. I'm sort of all twisted round and bent. I've got a stove here, which I'm going to add, you know, bent over, like that, some lemon and lime marmalade. This is for the filling, which you understand. And a bit. From La Canarias Ron Miel, which is a special honey rum from the Canary Islands. I'm often found up the Canaries, and this is a delicacy there. Just a drop. Delicious. And for thickness, I've got a load of mixed berries here. Now it's got bananas and all sorts in this because this is a smoothie mix. But I don't want to put them in it, I just want the berries. So like the blueberries, the blackberries, the raspberries. That was lovely. That's probably enough. Just put them away. Now I've got that on a really high heat. I've got that on the highest heat it does actually, because I really want the a bit more sugar, because I want it to really caramelise and go really thick and gloopy, like a nice sticky jam, with all the thick berries in it. And what I've done in the meantime is now I always forget the technical term for this. Is it flash baking or blind baking, where you put the pastry in the oven just to dry it out so you don't get a soggy bottom? I've done that, so I'm keeping my eye on those in the oven. They're not to bake all the way through, just enough to dry them out so they're waterproof on top. This filling's coming along beautifully. I'll just leave that to bubble. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick a bit of cider vinegar in it. Oh no, do you know what would be even better? Some balsamic vinegar, just to make it extra tart. Just a drop. Because I want it to be sweet and tangy. Oh, she's sweet, but she's tangy. Oh, toilet roll away. Don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it's bubbling nicely. Just give it a stir so it doesn't burn on the bottom. I'm just going to add a few extra scoops of jam, but that was the last of my lemon and lime marmalade. All I've got now is regular orange marmalade, but this is sugar free, so I don't think it'll caramelise as well. But I'll add a nice big dollop of that anyway, just to thicken it. Hopefully all these citrus fruits and berries add a really nice richness to it. Just going to take my pastry cases out of the oven because I think they've dried out enough. They don't need to be baked all the way through. Yeah, they're nice and dry. Oh, just show the camera. Yep. So they're looking right. There's the one that I didn't quite have enough pastry for. It's a bit knobbly, but the other ones look alright. They're like little craters, aren't they? Okay, while my mixture is bubbling on the stove and there's not really much more I can do till that's done, I'm going to change the camera angle back to over there. Welcome back! Oh, adjust it a bit more. Can you see me? Yes, I'm still in shot. Keep this bubbling. I want it to really go nice and thick, so I want to add lots more sugar so it proper caramelises. My whistling tea kettle is blocking the shot, but trust me, this looks rather good. I couldn't put it the other way around because the way this hob works, it's got 2 big rings and 2 small rings, and a small pan won't be detected on the big ring because it's induction and the magnetic hoop doesn't go all the way up, so it's just going to do if you put a small one on a big ring and a big one on a small ring. But you don't need to know the technicalities. Okay, jump forward in time. This has been boiling for quite a while, and I don't know if I can show you without spilling it everywhere. It's gone really thick and gloopy. So I need to change angles. No, I don't matter, you don't have to see what I'm doing. I'm literally just pouring them into the bases that I've just done. It's a lovely thick gloopy mess. I'm always afraid of tarts overflowing in the oven and making a mess, because as you know I hardly ever clean my oven as it is. So what I do is I put an extra baking tray underneath it in case it overflows when it's bubbling. They look like they've been homemade. Okay, put these in the oven. Now they really don't take long, but I've no idea how long these will take because I've made them up. Let's get you the baking tray, because like I say, I didn't want it to... This is one of my knackered old baking trays. I never mind this one, but I'm missing. That's to catch any overspill. And 200 degrees, I'm gonna say, Alexa, 15-minute timer. I'm just keeping an eye on them in case they burn with a pre-tinned passion fruit martini. It's rather nice. Very summery. You need to feel like summer when you live up north and the weather's like that. Look at the grey clouds, it's horrible. I haven't seen the blue sky since 1994. It's a tragic truth. To be honest, I don't know what the sign is when these are done. I'm just going to go off the colour of the pastry and if the jam has bubbled. So I'm just going to sit here and enjoy my pre-mixed cocktail until they're ready. Tarts are bubbling. Leave them in for a few more minutes, they're not quite brown. When done, transfer to a cooling rack and leave to cool. Now I don't have any whipped cream or squirty cream, but if I did, I would do like a ring around each one. Wouldn't that look beautiful? I've just sprinkled some basic sugar on top as decoration to look like snow. My tart, let's try it. It looks lovely, it's cooled, let's try it. You know what? It's actually pretty good. The pastry around the edge has got a proper tart based pastry. The pastry at the bottom is a bit soft. It's cooked all the way through, but it's a bit soft. It's more like the base of a cherry bakewell, you know, the way it sort of goes a bit cakey. And the jam, lovely. You can taste those forest berries, the blackberries, the raspberries, the blueberries. They're delicious. And it's got that slight tang, which is a mixture from the lime marmalade and from the balsamic vinegar. So there we go. Nathan Head's Tarty Tart. Just goes to prove you don't need to have all the ingredients to make what you're after. Or words to that effect.